The Cubs lose today's ballgame 11-4 and lose the home series versus the Cardinals after a win on Friday. On today's episode, we'll talk about the Dansby Swanson injury and how that impacts the team, upcoming pitching plans and rotation decisions, and preview this upcoming huge White Sox series at home. Hello, folks, and welcome to another episode of the Cubs Line Podcast. I'm Ryan Dunleavy.
And I'm Ron Zielinski.
And today the Cubs lose 11-4 and drop the first series of the homestand to the Cardinals after a win on Friday. Very rough series loss. The bats were dead all weekend. The only reason you won on Friday is because of Clay Holmes in your bullpen. It was only a Seiya Suzuki 3-run home run was all it took to win that one, so not much there. And then Saturday, Conforto with the big 3-run shot, and that was about all your offense. That was a very winnable game too. Besides the debut of Joshua Baez, even though how unreal that was, that's still a very winnable game and a game that you should have won. And then today, just awful effort from start to finish. Just they looked lifeless, and you had them within a one-run game going into the fourth inning and just imploded. I'm sick and tired of seeing Edward Cabrera for now. He's been awful this year. He needs to move to the bullpen. I don't agree with just letting him get his spot back in the rotation. He should have to prove it somehow rather than just getting it handed it to him and going and getting shelled and losing another series. Just very frustrating series, losing to your rival in the Cardinals, and just an embarrassing effort in my opinion. Rye, what are your thoughts on this series?
It was really bad Friday. Really good outing there from Clay. You got to say a 3-run bomb, and then that was it. Again, like you said, yesterday I was there. I think the most exciting part of the game was the Aaron Waters show flyovers. And then, you got Josh Baez hitting just he's a batting practice, Burleson too. And then today is just pretty self-explainable. It was one of the worst games of the season I think the only worst game was maybe when the Giants dropped 3 touchdowns at Wrigley Field. That was pretty bad. Honestly, that was just funny, but this one was just painful. Um, yeah, this was an awful series. We talked before the Thursday game against Washington about like real chance you go 3-4 or three out of this next four, and potentially are two back by the end of the weekend. They go, one in what, four?
Four between that last Washington game and the St. Louis series, and we said it should be 3-4, no exceptions.
Yeah. Um, and that just didn't happen. Brewers go into LA, take 3 of the 4, so you're now 5 back for the Stuvet in a little bit. So, yeah, this was bad.
Yeah, Cubs are now 5 games back. Sorry to Jaden Daniels for that, using the number 5.
Oh
But
shoot! Season desist letters on our desk tomorrow. No.
yeah,
Hey, out of respect for Jaden Daniels, though, the Cubs scored 4 today.
true.
I had to stop at 4.
But just from start to finish, the series embarrassing. The only reason you win on Friday is because of the pitching, and what the only thing that would have been worse is if you got swept. The bats were dead. The pitching was pretty brutal. Aside from Friday, your leader in Dansby Swanson gets hurt. Like, what could have went worse the series besides getting swept?
Yeah, you you got your ass handed to you by your rival at home, and now your star shortstop is possibly not back until like, if you make a run, maybe like the NLCS. So,
Yeah,
uh,
and the White Sox are coming into town on a sweep of the Detroit Tigers, who the Cubs just lost the series to a couple weeks ago.
yeah, like it's just I really you're cold. You're so ice cold right now. I really pray that you can find a way to sweep this team because and win the season series because this is just
And if you don't, you're gonna hand the trophy for the rivalry right to them and on your home field too. So just
yeah.
remember what happened at Guaranteed Rate Field that last game, and remember the comments to PCA and shove it right up their ass.
Yeah, that's the hope. That's the hope.
Yeah, so you wanna recap today's ball game?
Yeah, so Cubs dropped this one 11-4, drop now to 72 and 53. Cardinals win and go to 63 and 61. Top of the first inning, Edward Cabrera on the mound for the Cubbies, his first outing back. Weatherholt leads off with a ground rule double. Herrera then grounds out to second. Weatherholt gets to third.
Couldn't have been a
Burleson.
more Cardinal start either. Just a little blooper ground rule double.
Oh, I know.
Helped out of play. Just not a worse start.
Yeah, and then I mean, not even gonna lie here, pretty solid pitch from Cabrera. Change up low in the zone, just a um, better piece of hitting for Burleson here. He gets one out to right center. This one left by a good margin.
I
So
don't
two
know how
nothing.
he got to this pitch either. It was a low changeup, like good pitch from Cabrera, but he just got to it somehow. And good hitters are going to make you pay.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was a solid pitch. It was just I mean, better piece of hitting. This one got out by a lot too. Then Walker flies out, Baez flies out. Bottom of the first, Cubs go down 1-2-3. Top of the second, Church flies out, Mason Wynn grounds out. Then Crooks doubles and Jordan singles, bringing in him to make it 3-0. Weatherholt then grounds out to end the inning. Bottom of the second, Cubs go down 1-2-3. Top of the third, Herrera strikes out, Burleson grounds out. And then Walker with a two-out double. Then he gets to third on a loud pitch, and then he gets Baez to strike out. So pretty big there. Especially, I mean, you look at what Baez did yesterday. Pretty big to get the strikeout. Bottom of the third, Triantos comes
Before
in.
you get into that, though, I do want to say we were talking about this yesterday, when we were just talking, but Baez was either going to go 3 for 4 with 3 bombs, or he was going to go 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. And today he was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts, and yesterday was the bomb day. So that just shows
Yeah,
the inconsistency of him.
yeah. I mean, literally on we were on the L. Me and a couple of my buddies who I went to the game with. Check out the vlog. We were like okay, this kid's either gonna go 4 for 5, a double, 3 homers, or like you just said, 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts or 0 for 4 whatever. But I mean, he did both in these last two games. That just shows how hard it is to hit in the MLB.
That had to have been the greatest debut single handedly, though, in MLB history.
Yeah, isn't it the first time a
Yeah.
guy's debuted with three? Yeah,
His first 3 at bats, too. That was the best. I mean, just kind of a cool point Justin Turner made. The Cardinals last year, it was game 161 of the season, and Michael Bush, I believe, was a single away from the cycle, and the Cardinals decided to intentionally walk him. And this year, one of the Cardinals players lines out but gets a standing O from the Wrigley fans. That just shows the difference between the Cubs and the Cardinals.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I was
Also,
actually
the Miles Michaelis thing too, when he threw at Happer after hitting Willie in his backswing.
such a loser.
Just shows the difference between the Cardinals and the Cubs. Just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so Swanson takes an awkward swing out with an oblique. We'll talk about this later, but doesn't look good, especially with the oblique. So Triantos comes in for him. He draws a walk. I think he was not too bad today, Triantos. Conforto then pops out. Amaya strikes out. Then PCA with 2 outs. Big swing of the bat. He needed this one. He's been in a slump. Obviously wasn't the greatest today either, but he really needed this homer. Gets out to right center, 408. This one was out by a good margin. Cuts the lead to 1. So, I mean, I'm like, all right, we're going to come back and we're going to win this thing. Next inning I mean, could not get much worse. So, Triantos goes to second. Nico goes to short. Church leads off the ground out. Mason Wynn walks. Crooks walks. Jordan singles. Bases loaded. JJ Weatherholt draws a walk. Challenged the ball four pitch. I like what Maya was doing. I mean, this is, it was close enough.
You're
You
only
don't
up.
want to, yeah, you don't want to walk in a run. So it was a fine challenge. Herrera then hits a sac fly. So Crooks comes in to score, makes it 5-2. I was really hoping that this was the end when Cabrera comes out, Rolliston's in. I'm like, all right, keep it at 5-2. Like this is still a winnable ball game. I believe this was what the second, no, first pitch of the outing for Rollison. Burleson singles brings in Jordan and Weatherholt, and then Jordan Walker hits one out to center field, um, into the basket. Or was it in the basket? Or was it a little over? I can't
Little,
remember.
little
Little
over.
over. That's right. 413. Yeah, 413 feet. Okay, yeah. Makes it 9-2. Then Baez flies out to end that just monstrosity of an inning. They had 3 hits in the entire inning and managed to to score six. That just shows the price of walks right there.
Yeah, it shows how Edward Cabrera needs to grow up from a blister on his pinky.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Hap then with a one out single slapped it into left field. Nico then grounds out. Then Rammer strikes out. Top of the fifth, I believe for the first time in this game, the Cardinals go down. Or no, it was a double play. So Church walks to lead off the inning. Mason Wynn flies out, and then Crooks grounds into a double play. Bottom of the fifth, Triantos grounds out. Pretty good play over there at third, but it's all right. Conforto then walks. He was called out on strikes. Challenge overturned that call to ball four. Amaya draws a walk. So big moment here. I mean, still early, bottom of the fifth, down 7 runs. You got two on, one out. You know the MVP favorites up, and he looks at strike three. Not a very good pitch to take either on two strikes. I mean, he challenged it for some reason. Uh, I mean, very very in the zone and lost all your challenges. So strike out there from PCA, and then Seiya strikes out on a I believe it was a sweeper. Yeah, sweeper
Gave me
low.
flashbacks of 2023, 2024 Seiya Suzuki trying to do too much, just swinging at pitches in the dirt with zero approach. He's been so good with his approach this year and taking walks and getting on base, but this just gave me flashbacks to old Seiya Suzuki.
Yeah, it really did. And even earlier, like when he had trouble with the approaches, like it was around that first White Sox series that we were like, dude, this guy's got to have an approach. But he was able to figure that out. He's been really good with working ABs since, but this is pretty bad. Top of the sixth inning, Jordan leads off with a strikeout. Weatherholt lines out. Ivan Herrera singles. Alec Burleson doubles. Walker then gets hit by a pitch, pretty ugly. Got him like off the wrist and then right up by the face. So bases loaded, and then Savali gets biased to strike out to end the inning. Bottom of the sixth, Breggy leads off with a walk, and then Hap grounds into a fielder's choice. Breggy goes to second. Nico singles. So again, like for the second straight inning, you have two on with one out. I mean, just try to get one or two home, chip away at the lead. I was very confident with Rammer coming up, but he strikes out. It was the same pitch 3 times, or no, fouled off the first strike to make it 1-1. Swung through the second pitch, second strike, which was the exact same pitch, and then he went down with the changeup at the bottom of the zone and got him to swing through that one. And then Triantos goes up, looks at two strikes, and then swings through a changeup low in the zone or out of the zone for strike three. Ends that inning with no damage done. Top of the seventh, Cardinals go down 1-2-3. Bottom of the seventh, Cubs go down 1-2-3. Top of the eighth, Jordan strikes out to lead off the inning. Weatherholt with an infield single. Herrera draws a walk. Burleson strikes out, and then Jordan Walker doubles. This was right over the head of Seiya. He made a good effort to try and go up and get it, but it was too far. So 2 run score on that double makes it 11-2. Baez strikes out to end the inning. Bottom of the eighth, Seiya leads off with a double. Breggy grounds out. Tyrone Taylor comes in for Hap. Seiya gets to third on a wild pitch. Taylor sac fly makes it 11-3. Wish this was meaningful. Nico walks, Raymer singles, and then Triantos pops out. I mean, the amount of base runners they had today, like this could have at least been like 11-8. Like it's just a terrible game. Top of the ninth, Church flies out, Wynn flies out, Crook singles, and then Jordan fouls out to end the inning. Bottom of the ninth, Conforto grounds out. Miggy with a homer. Chris Paul with a
Cuts the lead down to
with
42.
with a big three to cut the lead down to 42. I mean,
Couldn't get another run though, because had to stay at 4 runs.
you
Can't.
had to say 4 runs for Jane Daniels. I mean, thank God we did. Uh, or we would have had some trouble there. But Miggy with an absolute earth-shattering home run. And then PCA strikes out again. Seiya grounds out. That's the ball game. So relieved to have this one over. Um, Wash it and go play the fellas on the south side. But I mean, Rod, what are your thoughts on today?
Just a really bad effort from start to finish. I mean, just the Burleson home run sets the tone in this one. You're already trailing two before you even get the bats. Like that's on Edward Cabrera. Then your 1, 2, 3 hitters, Pete and Seiya, strike out. Like can't set a tone like that. And then you cut it within 1 run and just Edward Cabrera implodes everything. And it's what happens when you walk guys. Just one bad inning killed you. If you take away that inning, then it's a 5-4 ball game and a lot closer. Just one inning killed you, but it started from the first pitch and just a really lifeless, embarrassing effort from this team.
Yeah, 100%. It's just not a good series whatsoever, and this summed it up perfectly. But we'll get into the pitching here. Edward Cabrera gets the start in the loss, goes 3 2/3, gives up 6 hits, 7 runs. They were all earned, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. He threw 77 pitches, 41 for strikes, and he's now at a 5.68 ERA. Ryan Rollison followed that up with an inning and a third, 2 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned. A walk, no strikeouts, gave up 1 bomb, 18 pitches, 8 for strikes. He's at a 2.57. Savali with 2 innings of relief, gave up 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts. He threw 35 pitches, 24 for strikes. Very good here from Aaron Savali. He's at a 4.94 ERA. Caleb Fieldbar goes in for 2/3, gives up a hit, 2 runs, a walk, 2 strikeouts. He threw 15 pitches, 9 for strikes. He's now at a 5.54 ERA. Trent Thornton in for a third, gave up a hit, no runs, no walks, a strikeout. He threw 5 pitches, all 5 for strikes. He's now at a 2.58 ERA. And then big Carson Kelly, just an absolute dog. An inning, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. He threw 11 pitches, 7 of them for strikes. Cy Young over here, really, really shutting the door. Best reliever of
Love
the day for the
that.
Cubbies.
Love
Yeah.
that. Only guy that showed up to pitch today.
Yeah, seriously, only guy that showed up to pitch. So that's the ball game here. Player of the game. I mean, I don't really know to be honest. Do you got an idea?
Oh, I mean, you could go Pete with the homer. Savali was pretty good, but I don't think anyone deserves it today. We'll go
Yeah,
no one.
we're just fading player of the game today because it's just we're not doing that.
All right, and I want to start off. I don't know why Edward Cabrera or just got a roster spot. Like the guy stunk all year. Like put him in the bullpen. David Peterson's been pitching his tail off. He had one bad outing versus the Cards, a okay outing versus the Nats, and then you pull the plug on him. Like why is Peterson just out of to the bullpen? Like Cabrera's done nothing, and you're just handing him a spot with a 5.6 ERA. Like I that's bad decision making and the decision making gets worse when you send Javier Assad down, a guy who's been nails this past month. He delivered starts when you need him to. He delivered clutch innings when you needed him to. He pitched length and when bulk from the bullpen when you needed him to, and you're gonna send him down. Like I don't get that. I think you should have sent Colin Ray down before him. I think Caleb Thielbar really needs to go. You should have sent him down before that. I would rather have him than Thornton. Like I don't know why. Cabrera would have been better in the bullpen because he has velocity. He can come in 98, 99. You like to see, the Cubs bullpen lacked velocity. If you can have a guy with velocity that's big and Peterson's been nails, keep him in the rotation for now at least. Like I really do not understand this roster move at all, and I was pretty upset when I saw this before the game.
Yeah, I would love to know the thought behind this. I mean, again, I always say like they know more than us, but I would just love to know the thought process behind taking a guy like Assad, who's been really good. I mean, he's been great. Off the team, keeping Colin Ray. I mean, you know how much I love Colin Ray, but he's just been, he hasn't been serviceable this year and reliable. And Assad has, so I'm very confused on why. And then your point about Peterson and Cabrera, like Cabrera's been bad. He's been hurt. He comes back. I mean, I get wanting him to play his role, but like Peterson's been great, and for Cabrera, like I think after this outing, you got to be like, all right, like put him in the bullpen. Like I feel like in the bullpen he'd be fine, but just start in the rotation, getting his spot back without doing anything. I just think it's a little crazy.
Yeah, I did not understand that at all. From Peterson just going to the bullpen, from Cabrera just getting a spot handed right back to him. I'm pretty done with Edward Cabrera for the year unless he can turn some things around because I don't trust him starting baseball games anymore, especially meaningful games too.
Yeah, I agree.
And then the next thing I want to talk about, Dansby Swanson. I'm gonna say he's out for 2 to 4 weeks. Bare
Whoa,
minimum. You
two to
think?
four weeks.
How long do you think?
A mid-level oblique strain is usually around 5 to 8.
Well, 5 to 8. I mean, what's the game plan going on?
I mean, if he's out 6 weeks, that is exact like from today, 6 weeks is, I believe, right around the first game of the playoffs. So he's if he's out 6 weeks, he's not getting any time before the playoffs. Like that'll be his first action. So the game plan is very simple. Rammer plays second, Nico plays short, Bush at first, and then you DH Conforto probably. It's pretty simple.
So my game plan, I would say, is you don't need another outfielder because you already have Conforto and Taylor, so there's no real point in bringing up Justin Dean because him and Triantos really just serve the same purpose as a defensive replacement and a pinch runner. As far as Kevin Alcantara, him and Tyrone Taylor do the same thing. As much as I would love for it to be Alcantara over Taylor, they're not going to do that and have three outfielders on the bench. So I think there's one man for the job, and I think it's Owen Ayers. I think he's been raking throughout the system this year. We had a great chat with him earlier, and this is non-biased too. Like he has earned his opportunity. He was a 18th round draft pick, worked his tail through the system. He started the year, I believe, in high A, then went to double A, now in triple A, still tearing the ball. He can DH, he can play first base, he can play catcher, he can give Carson Kelly and Miguel Amaya days off if needed. So I think you bring up Owen Ayers, and against lefties, you have Ayers as your DH, and against righties, you have Conforto as your DH, and you maybe can catch Owen Ayers because Kelly and Amaya don't hit righties as well. So I think you call up Owen Ayers to take the spot of Dansby Swanson, and when Matt Shaw comes back, then you send Triantos down, and Shaw could be your platoon infielder with Ramirez.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. They're gonna have to make some sort of move, but I like putting up Ayers and just have him in there. Like you said, just for a potential day off for Amaya and Kelly. He's a very serviceable bat. Serviceable bat. I mean, he's worked his tail off this season. He's crushing the ball. So, yeah, I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, I think you take Owen Ayers and then Palencia, assuming he's good, he looked a lot better today. Um, I think it's Colin Ray that's got to go. Savali was better than Colin Ray's been, so I think for the meantime, you keep Savali, you send down Colin Ray, and you call Danny P back up. When Hobie Milner's eventually ready, Thielbar's gone, and then if you get Shelby Miller, it's probably going to be Savali, just the odd man out because Thornton's been better than him. So that's my kind of strategy with the bullpen. What about you, Rye?
I agree. I think it's Colin Ray next up because Savali has just earned that spot. And then you go down the list, like you said. Savali's eventually probably going to get the boot. Um, like you said, just because he's the odd man out. But I mean, I
He's
definitely
not
don't
going to be
think
on the playoff roster. We can.
no,
Aaron Sanchez next.
he's not. Unfortunately, I mean he's been fine, but I don't think he gets a playoff roster spot.
This
Did
is a
he
hot
did
take,
he
kind
make it
of.
last year? I don't
Oh,
remember.
yes, he did. He
Yeah,
did.
that's right.
But this is kind of a hot take, in my opinion. But I think Justin Dean should make your playoff roster. Just how fast he is and how experienced he is from last year.
World Series champion, like
I
I
think I think he should over Triantos because he's so fast, like freakishly fast, and he's good at defense. So I think he definitely makes your playoff roster.
I wouldn't say he definitely makes it. I think he definitely should make it. I
He
just don't
definitely
know if he
should.
will.
Yes, I agree. But for the near future, I would shift Nico over to short. Rammer's your everyday second baseman. Bushy at first. Then you have Breggy at third. Happer in left. Taylor platooning with him if needed. Then you have Pete in center. Sayat in right. Conforto DHing versus righties. And you have Ayers DHing versus lefties and potentially catching versus righties. So that's kind of my straight. And then you have Triantos platooning up the middle if you need a Rammer or Nico off day, and pinch running until Matt Shaw's back next week.
Yeah, it's a good plan. They've set the time on Matt Shaw.
Oh, yes, he took BP today at Wrigley. He's going down to Iowa for his rehab and should be back. My guess would be next week.
Okay, okay, that makes sense because I knew he was close. I just hadn't seen anything on a timeline, but that makes sense.
Yeah, and Danny P should be back as
I've
soon as
heard I've heard Danny P could be back like
tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yeah,
Yes. That would not surprise me one bit.
yeah, I agree.
So now we'll do a preview on this White Sox series. Huge series for both teams. So I don't know. I'm gonna go on ESPN really quick because I don't know if MLB has the official starters, but for tomorrow it is confirmed. For the White Sox, it's Luis Castillo, who's 4.9 with a 4.96 ERA, but he's coming off a 10 strikeout start. He was really good in his last start, but he's been bad besides that this year. And for the Cubs, it's Shota Imanaga, who's 8.9 with a 3.74 ERA. He got shelled by the White Sox last year and I believe this year too, so does not have good numbers versus the Sox, so that's going to be an interesting one. And then on Tuesday,
Undecided the next 2 days for the White Sox.
yes, because Davis Martin just hit the 15-day IL. So I'll see what ESPN's saying really quick.
ESPN says undecided.
My guess is it's Jose Urquidy or it's a bullpen day because
Mm,
it's called up Urquidy and he hasn't pitched yet. So I don't really know what the White Sox plan is moving forward. Sean Burke obviously is not going to go because he pitched today. Probably Anthony K is scheduled for Thursday, Burke on Friday. So there's two roster spots open. Do you think they'll go to Hagen Smith for
I
one of
was
them?
thinking that they could, or they could platoon him in like an opener, because they did that when he pitched against Cleveland. They went like 2 innings, someone, and then Hagen the next two, and then
He
just
only threw an inning today. Um,
yeah. So he definitely could pitch like Wednesday.
I think they might go Hagen Smith on Wednesday, and then your Curie did go on Friday, but I think
Yeah.
it's going to be a bullpen day, one of them, and then probably Hagen Smith with the bulk, and then Jose or Curie with the bulk. The other day because your Curie went Friday 3.2 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 strikeouts. So my guess
Mm.
is it's Jose or Curie and Hagen Smith, but you're dodging a bullet not seeing Anthony Kane, Sean Burke.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
But for the
Or
Cubs,
or
Tuesday.
do you think Kay could move from Thursday to Wednesday?
I don't think they do that right now. I just don't think it's worth it.
I don't think it's worth it either, yeah, but I mean it's
They're in
yeah.
cruise control of their division, so I don't think
Yeah.
they do that.
Yeah.
So Tuesday for the Cubs, Kevin Gausman, his Wrigley debut, who's 6-11 with a 4.53 ERA. He was really solid in Kansas City, was good in Washington, just imploded his last inning of that start. So we'll see what we get from Ghazi. And then on Wednesday, Clay Holmes, who's 5-5 with a 2.56 ERA. Amazing start this Friday versus the Cards. Monday, first pitch is at 7:05, so a little bit later than typical. And then Tuesday we got a
7:05 on TBS.
on TBS Tuesday. Monday's Marquee and CHSN, and then Wednesday's your average 120 game Marquee CHSN. So Rye keys to the series and just how big is it?
I mean, it's huge, right? You need some bragging rights from, from what happened. And another key is just revenge. Like they there was a big stretch of the season where they looked like one of the worst teams in the league, and that all started from that Sunday game when they just imploded, and or they were down, came back with the Conforto homer, took the lead, gave up the walk off to Edgar Caro, who's for some reason not. He's been really good, and they sent him down to keep Jerome. I have no idea why, but I mean, just get your revenge. Shota needs to have a good outing. Like he's gotten shelled by the White Sox. He needs to at least be serviceable and keep the team in the game. And Gosman, Gosman Holmes have an outing. Clay Holmes, hopefully he can have the same outing as he did on Friday. Obviously, probably not going to happen, but hopefully he can be good again. Gosman just have a good outing and go win this series. I think they take 2 out of 3.
Yeah, so Shota, he's gotten rocked by the White Sox in the past, so you're gonna need him to be serviceable. Castillo, you're gonna have to hit him. He's not the best, but he's had good numbers versus the Cubs in the past. Ghazi and Holmes are both gonna have to have good starts, and the bats are gonna need to wake up because the White Sox do not have the best pitching staff. Their bullpen isn't the strongest, so you really got to hit off them. And I would say you're if possible, don't pitch to Vargas and Murakami in important situations. There's not really anyone else that really scares me in that lineup. Maybe Colson, but Murakami and Vargas are the two big ones. But besides that, attack everyone else. But don't give them anything down the plate because they will make you pay, as you saw in that last series. So definitely pitch careful to them, but this is a very beatable White Sox team, and this is huge for bragging rights and just bigger than a average series. It's in the midst of a playoff division race, and it's your rival. So this is a huge game for this team and this group, just for the team mojo and for the north side of Chicago.
Yeah, 100%.
So now we'll take a look around the MLB at some of the scores from today. White Sox obviously coming off of a sweep. They came back today, won the game 7-5. Miguel Vargas and Murakami with bombs. The Orioles beat the Rays 10-2. Pete Alonso and Colton Cowser with bombs in that one. The Pirates beat the Reds 8-3. The Pirates with a 5-run third inning. The Braves beat the D-backs 5-3. Matt Olson with the go-ahead 3-run shot. The Yankees beat the Blue Jays 4-3. Ben Rice with a 2-run shot in extra innings for the win. The Mets beat the Nationals 4-3. Luis Torrens and Jaron Young with bombs. Kodai Senga with the save. The Padres beat the Guardians 5-0. Casey Mize threw 6 scoreless innings in that win. And then the Marlins beat the Reds 7-1. Herberto Hernandez and Javier Sanoja with bombs in that one. The Phillies beat the Twins 7-5. The Phillies put up a 3-run eighth inning, and that was enough for the win there. The Rockies beat the Giants 13-7. The Rockies with a 2-run fifth inning, a 4-run sixth inning, and a 3-run seventh inning. Huge innings there. And then the Athletics beat the Rangers 5-2. Lawrence Butler, Zach Geoff, and Tommy White with homers in that one. The Royals beat the Rangers 3-0. Noah Cameron with a complete game in that one. Michael Massey with a bomb in that one as well. And then the Brewers beat the Dodgers 6-2. Jake Bauers was 4-for-4, I believe, with a couple of RBIs. He had a big day. And then the Mariners beat the Astros 3-2. Cal Raleigh with a bomb in this one, only his 13th on the year on a very down year for Raleigh. A little standing update, as we like to do those on Sundays. The Cubs 5 back, the Phillies 7.5 back, the Padres 7 games back, the Yankees 5.5 back of the Rays, Detroit 5.5 back of the White Sox, and Texas 2 back of Houston. A little wild card update. Cubs are up 5 games, and then the Phillies and San Diego are both up a game of Arizona. Miami is 3 games back, and St. Louis is 3.5 games back. So the season ended right now. Cubs are playing the Phillies. I think Cubs will probably end up in this wild card spot. But we were talking, as long as you can stay within 4 to 3 games, you still have 7 games left versus Milwaukee, and those are going to be the biggest games of the year. Those are going to be like playoff games. So as long as you could get 3 to 4 games back in the division before you have that 4 game set with them next week, I think you're in a good spot.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you can go in, I think they need to be hopefully three, but four will do going into those seventh games because I mean, think you're five back. You even if you win the series and win four out of the seven, you only gain a game, and what does that do? You know, you're now almost halfway through September. You've played them, and I believe they now still would have the head to head. Like, it's just that would do you no good. So I think they need to be three back going into those games, and they need to be three back going into September. But yeah, those are going to be. I mean, you want to talk electric? Those are going to be huge.
Yeah, so the projected as of right now, I know it's still a long time out. So versus Seattle, you're going to go Boyd, Cabrera, and Imanaga. And then versus Arizona will be Gosman, Holmes, Boyd. So then game one, or then, excuse me, versus Cincinnati, it will be Cabrera, Imanaga, Gosman. Game one is set up to be Holmes. Game two is set up to be Boyd. Game three is set up to be Cabrera. Game four is set up to be Imanaga. So those are the four. So the Brewers will not see Kevin Gosman the way it looks right now. And then as far as Milwaukee, they're going with a 6-man staff as of right now. Um, I'm pulling that up right now. So as of right now, it's lined up to be. So before that, it will be Gasser, Derone, and Mizorowski. Or did I get that right? It'll be versus Texas, the series before the Cubs. It'll be Mizorowski, Henderson, and May. And then versus the Cubs, it will be Harrison, Gasser, Derone, and probably Mizorowski. So you're probably going to have to see the Miz. One,
I
two,
mean,
three.
you obviously will because you're playing. Yeah.
Actually, no, there is a chance you don't see him because he's scheduled to go on Sunday versus the Rangers.
Okay. That
So
would be pretty big.
there's a good chance you avoid the Miz, and you'll see Henderson, May, Gasser, and Derone.
That would be huge.
That would be huge, but you will definitely have to see. Actually, no, there's a good chance they avoid him both times because then the Miz would pitch. Hold up, Henderson, May, Derone. Miz would pitch game one versus Cincy. One, two, three, four. Yeah, there's a good chance you don't see the Miz at all.
I mean, talk about getting lucky. That would be huge.
That would be huge. And then the AL wild card, we'll take a look at that. Um, Yankees up 8 games, Boston up 5 games, and then Baltimore in a playoff spot right now. 2 games back of 500. They are in sole possession of that third wild card spot. So 4 teams in the East in the playoffs as of right now. Texas is a half a game back. Toronto's only a game back. They're starting to heat up. Detroit's only a game back. Minnesota's a game and a half back. Cleveland's a game and a half back. And Seattle is 2.5 back. So now we will play MLB Pickle Rye. Who do you want to start with here?
I don't think it should be a Cub. So
I don't blame you. Don't worry.
let's go with Blaze Jordan.
Blaze. No, we're not going Cardinal. I'm
Come
just gonna.
on, Blaze Jordan was tough back in the day. He was
All right,
13 hitting
he
like these
was pretty
800-foot
tough.
home runs.
I will say that. I guess we can go Blaze Jordan. USA. So probably a lefty lefty in the AL. All right, AL East lefty lefty. Let's go Willie Abreu from the Red Sox. All right, now in the AL East, 27 years old. So probably AL West lefty lefty. Let's
Hell,
go pitcher. Let's go Brian Wu. I know he's not a lefty lefty, but see if we can get the team or division. All right, AL West starting pitcher lefty lefty. All right, Mariners Redemptors, and that is your MLB Pickle Player of the Day Redemptors.
bad boy.
There we go. So now we'll play some Immaculate Grid.
I've cranked out a couple of these.
All right, what do we got?
So made a mistake here, but I bounced back. So under 3 RA season with the Rangers, DeGrom. Then
Oh,
Mets Rangers. I went Beltron. Blue
Matt
Jays.
Beltron. All right.
Yeah, Blue Jays Rockies. Troy Tulowitzki. Blue Jays 30 save season. Roberto Ozuna.
All right. So we got. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tulo for Blue Jays Rockies.
Yep.
And then we got DeGrom for under 3 ERA season for Texas.
Texas. Yep.
And then what else we got? 30 save season for the Blue Jays, Ozuna.
Ozuna. Roberto Ozuna.
All
And
right,
then
I got some.
under 3 ERA 30 save. I just went Mariano Rivera.
All right, that works. For 30 save season for the Mets, you go Devin Williams
There you go.
or Edwin Diaz, but I'm gonna go Williams. No, actually, he didn't get it, I guess. So we'll go Edwin Diaz. Tried for a little poll there, but we could play it safe. All right. Edwin Diaz does. All right, for Mets and Rangers, we could go Marcus Semien. And then Blue Jays and Rangers. Max Scherzer.
There you go.
And now we just need under 3 ERA season Colorado, and then Colorado and Mets. Ooh, I don't want to keep you guys here all day. We'll be nice today. We would have got that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Mets and Rockies, Mike Hampton, and then Colorado under three ERA
We could have
season.
gone Quintana too.
Alvo Jimenez. Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning into today's episode. Make sure to tune back in tomorrow. Cubs versus White Sox, 7:05 first pitch. Tune in on Marquee and CHSN. As always, go North Side. Got to defend our home turf. Signing off, Ryan Dunleavy.
Brian Zonsky.
See you guys next episode.